This meeting is being recorded and audio streamed via the Council website. Good afternoon, councillors, staff and members of the public. Please be upstanding for our Mayor Councillor Straub to read the opening affirmation.
Thank you, Mr Fitzgerald. Council's opening affirmation is: we, the Council Lords of Loddon Shire, declare that we will carry out our duties in the best interests of our community, and through collective leadership we will maintain the highest standards of good governance.
The Loddon Shire Council acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land upon which we are gathered and pays its respects to elders both past and present. Please be seated.
Welcome all. Welcome to all of our Loddon councillors, our Loddon staff, and welcome to all those joining in on the live stream for the December council meeting. Last meeting of the 2025 calendar year. We've got a few items to discuss today, but firstly we will jump in and go through the opening few agenda items. Firstly being apologies, and we do not have any apologies today from any councillors. Councillors, is there any conflicts of interest to disclose on any agenda item? No. We'll move straight into the minutes of our previous meeting. Now I'll firstly open up for any questions, queries or comments regarding those minutes. I'll take them as read. If not, I'll ask if there's a councillor prepared to move that those minutes be true and correct. Thank you, Councillor Weaver. Is there a councillor to second, please? Thank you, Councillor Angelo. I'll ask for a show of hands in favour. Those minutes are carried. Item 6.1, our council's auspice meetings and the record of those council auspice meetings. And I'll ask Mr Fitzgerald, please, to take us through those records.
Thank you, Mayor Straub. Council's governance rules require a record of meetings conducted under the auspices of Council to be recorded and presented to the next available Council meeting for confirmation. That must include a record of who was in attendance in terms of Council officers and councillors, a summary of the matters which were considered, and any conflicts of interest that were disclosed. The recommendation is that Council confirm the records of the auspiced Council meeting, as detailed within the report, being the Council briefing held on 25 November 2025. Thank you, Mayor Straub.
Thank you, Mr Fitzgerald. Councillors, was there any questions? If not, is there a councillor prepared to move? Thank you, Councillor Angelo. Councillor to second? Thank you, Councillor Wilson. A show of hands in favour, and that is also carried. Moving along to our review of actions, 7.1. Mr Fitzgerald, please.
Thank you again, Mayor Straub. Councillors, a document containing the status of actions is attached to this agenda report. There were no outstanding actions prior to the November Council meeting, and 5 of the 6 actions arising from the November Council meeting resolutions have been acted upon. The one action relating to updating the priorities document is in progress, but has not been completed. The recommendation is that Council receive and note the status of Council resolution actions as attached to this report. Thank you, Mayor Straub.
Thank you, Mr Fitzgerald. Councillors, was there any questions regarding those action sheets at all? If not, is there a councillor prepared to move? Thank you, Councillor Wilson. A councillor prepared to second? Thank you, Councillor Weaver. Show of hands in favour, and those action sheets are carried. We'll keep moving along to our reports now, and 8.1 is the mayoral report. I'm going to use the time today to just really take the opportunity to thank all of my fellow councillors and our CEO, along with the Loddon Shire staff, for a great 2025. A big thank you to all of the community members that have played such an important part in the Loddon Shire over the past 12 months and continue to do so into the future. It's been a pleasure to work with everybody. It has been a great year, busy year. There's been lots of ups and downs, but we have got through it out the other side, and now looking at a time of celebration, relaxation, and really making the most of spending time with family and friends over the Christmas break. So I'd like to wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and also send out our heartfelt condolences to many Jewish community members through Loddon over the devastating news from the terrible events that happened in Bondi over the weekend. Our hearts go out to you over this time. But please, everyone, enjoy the Christmas break with family and friends, and look forward to seeing everyone in 2026. Thank you very much. Councillors, we'll move straight along to asking if there is a councillor prepared to move and second the mayoral report for today. Thank you, Councillor Weaver. A councillor to second. Thank you, Councillor Angelo. Is there a show of hands in favour of that report being tabled? Carried. We'll move on to our council law reports, 9.1. Councillors, I'm going to start on this side of the room today with Councillor Holt, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just a couple of things I'd like to report, Mr Mayor. I did attend the annual general meeting of the Wedderburn Redbacks back on the 25th of November, and Mr Robert Tonkin's taken over the second biggest gig in town, which is President of the Redbacks. On the 3rd of December, I attended a Wedderburn Development Association meeting, and it was great to see council officers there in Susie Berthersall, David Stretch and David Southcombe, and I appreciate their coming, and so did the committee. You might have noted, Mr Mayor, that I never ever report on one-on-one meetings or meetings with staff or meetings with individual members of the public, but I just do want to note that our Manager of Compliance, Mr Glenn Harvey, in a private capacity, I asked him for advice in regards to his area of expertise, and as a council officer he couldn't have been more helpful in looking at options and trying to find solutions to problems. So I think as an organisation we're very fortunate to have him. And finally, Mr Mayor, last night I did attend the Donaldson Park Community Asset Committee meeting, and at that meeting they were very appreciative of Council's mower replacement policy, which is of great assistance to our 9 recreation reserves across Loddon, and is one more aspect of the support we do give to those committees of management. Thanks, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Holt. Councillor Angelo, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Pardon me. On the 3rd of December, I attended the tourism breakup for Loddon Shire at both banks in Kingower. It was a good night organised by David Stretch from the tourism side of things at Loddon Shire. On the 4th of December, I attended the Australia Day meeting up at CERT. Looking forward to that. On the 6th of December, I attended the bike swap meet at Llanelli. What a great job they do down there in creating tourism for Loddon Shire, and a 2-day event this year. So I'll take my hat off to all involved. On the 7th of December, I attended a hall committee meeting over at Riola. A lot of fine stuff and work going on over at the hall and surrounds. And later that day, on the 7th of December, I attended the community Christmas function at Tarnagoa. Thank you very much, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Angelo. Councillor Wilson, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. On the 27th of November, which is subsequent to the last council meeting, I attended the Inglewood Development Tourism Committee meeting. Just a comment on this, that they're very keen to get new members to this committee. So I would encourage people in that Inglewood specific area to look at joining this group to support them in their projects. On the 28th of November, I joined the Inglewood Elderly Persons Unit for their last meeting of the year. And I would just like to thank the Inglewood Lions Club for the tremendous work that they do in managing the elderly persons units, the 2 units in Inglewood, which come certainly with their challenges in terms of managing the properties. They do a tremendous effort in looking after these properties and ensuring that the 2 residents there live comfortably and safely. So that's a terrific effort on the Inglewood Lions Club part. On the 10th of December, I went to Bendigo to stand in for the Mayor for a photo shoot. I'm sure I was a far more attractive option than the Mayor. For the launch of the Regional Ambassadors Tourism Pass, which is something I would urge all Loddon Shire people to get on board with. And this is celebrating our kind of summer that we have in Loddon. It's something that's been going on in Bendigo but has been now extended to Loddon, where people are able to get an ambassador's pass to take friends and family over the summer to show how we celebrate summer in Loddon Shire and in Bendigo. So there are discounts for entry into attractions and things like that. So I would certainly encourage people to look into that. On the 10th that evening, had the Kiora Women's Network final dinner at the Bridgewater Hotel. And on the 11th and 14th of November, respectively, the Bridgewater Carols with the school, and then the Inglewood Carols, again run by the Lions Club and the Inglewood Community Hub. A fantastic event with our very own Lou from the customer service team at Loddon, playing her guitar and singing, and she's just brilliant. And then last night, the IDHS annual general meeting for wrapping up a really tremendous year for the hospital and the Inglewood District Health Services. So good to see that organisation going from strength to strength. Finally, I'd just like to thank everybody in the Inglewood ward for being so welcoming to me as a new councillor, or I was a new councillor. I'm a bit old and rusty at it now, and wish all our Shire residents and workers a Merry and safe Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. And today we will finish with Councillor Weaver for the last report of 2025.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Not a lot to report, but on last Friday night I attended the Bort Street party, which you also attended, Mr Mayor. It was a good evening with a pretty good crowd there and a bit of fun had by all. Grain harvest is going pretty well up in the north of the Shire. The Bort Cooperative yesterday, I rang them last night, they'd received to date this year 200,000 tonnes. They just hit the 200,000 tonne barrier yesterday, which is, I think they're heading to be the largest private grain receiver in Victoria for the 3rd year running. We've been very lucky this year to have the firefighting helicopter based at the Bort Aerodrome, which is one of our Loddon Shire facilities. It's a real game changer. It's been wonderful with a couple of harvest fires. They get onto them so quick and, minimise a lot of damage. So that's been really good. And that's about all I've got to say, other than to wish everyone a safe and very happy Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Weaver. There is a lot of great celebrations going on around our community at the moment, and it's great to see our community groups being able to get out and celebrate their own achievements too, and celebrate with their respective communities. Very impressive grain receival figures again, Councillor Weaver. It has proven to be, a very important facility in the north for grain receival. So well done to the Boort Co-op on again achieving such a good resource for our farming community.
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor, and if I may add, they do sponsor a lot of sporting clubs in the town, and there's over 50 people employed there at the moment, so it is a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Thank you all. Councillors, we've had a very busy year, so no doubt we will all take some time to have a break, but I know your communities really thank and wish for a very Merry Christmas to all of you, and I've had lots of positive feedback over the recent months about how well Loddon Shire Council does work together to really strive for the best outcomes for our communities. So in that saying that, do I have a councillor prepared to move those council reports be tabled? Thank you, Councillor Angelo. Councillor to second. Councillor Wilson, was it? Thank you. Do I have a show of hands in favour? Thank you very much. Those reports are carried. We'll move on to decision reports. And councillors, we have 2 reports for decision today. First one, 10.1, our strategic risk review and report. And I'll ask please Director Gladman to deliver the report and recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor Straw. Councillors, this report provides an update on Council's strategic risks and seeks Council endorsement of the identified risks, their current assessments and the controls in place. Strategic risks represent the most significant issues that could materially impact Council's ability to achieve our strategic objectives, namely the Council Plan. The risks covered in this report relate to financial sustainability, declining volunteer numbers, the impacts of severe weather events, the security and resilience of our digital systems, business continuity during disruptions and declining civic participation. Regular review and reporting of strategic risks is required under the Local Government Performance Reporting Framework, but it also plays an important role in assisting us to maintain focus on areas that require the highest level of oversight and management. Officers will continue to work closely with councillors and the Audit and Risk Committee to strengthen existing controls and implement further treatments to reduce council's exposure to these risks. The recommendation before you today, councillors, is that council approve the Strategic Risk Report, December 2025. Thank you, Mayor Straw.
Thank you, Director Gladman. Councillors, firstly, I'll offer for any questions, queries or comments. Before I ask if there's a councillor prepared to move a motion to the recommendation. Thank you, Councillor Holt. A councillor prepared to second. Thank you, Councillor Weaver. Councillor Holt, opportunity to speak to the motion if you'd like.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Straw. Look, the issue of strategic risks for us is always a problem. Quite often those risks are beyond our control, but we have, as Director Gladman has said, identified, was it 5 or 6 key risks, and we have listed there what we are doing to try and mitigate those risks. And the Internal Audit Committee has seen this, and as was outlined by the Chair who spoke to us earlier today, Mark Allen, they have endorsed what we've got here. So it gives me pleasure to move that we accept the officer's recommendation, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Holt. Councillor Weaver?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
No. Any other councillors wishing to speak for? Councillor Wilson, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, I agree with the recommendation to approve the report. I do, however, think the community will want to see how we are going to manage and mitigate these risks going forward, as the report does not include those plans or strategies. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Any other councillor wishing to speak for or against? I'll ask for a show of hands in favour. And that motion is carried. Thank you very much. We'll move along to 10.2, tender C656, flood restoration works, resheeting. And I'll ask Mr Fitzgerald, please, to deliver the report and recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor Straub. I'm really pleased to be able to present this report to you on behalf of Director Van Orser, who's away unwell today. Councillors, you can see in the report here that that we've got the opportunity to award a number of substantial restoration works as a result of the October 2022 floods, as well as the 23-24 flood as well. This is a substantial package of works that that will make a real difference to the community. It builds on the last quarterly report provided to Council in November, just recently, and it's been presented to Council because of the value of the contract being above the CEO delegation, and therefore it must be awarded by the Council. The flood restoration works includes 9 packets of works, so again it's very substantial, and based on a very strong response to this tender, an assessment was undertaken based on pricing, the capability of the contractors to do the work that we're asking them to do, their capacity to do it in a timely and a time frame that we need them to deliver it in. But also it's been done on a package by package basis to understand value for money, which includes local content within the proposed package. The recommendation of this report is that Council award contract C656, flood restoration works resheeting, and I won't read out all of those packages, but it's as listed within this report. And 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to undertake all necessary administrative actions to complete the contract documents. Thank you, Mayor Straub.
Thank you, Mr Fitzgerald. Councillors, is there any final questions, queries or comments regarding the report and recommendation? Councillor Wilson?
Just a comment that I think it's so pleasing to see the number of organisations we have tendering for this sort of work. It's a good assurance for us in the community that at times when we hear about how difficult it is for suppliers and suppliers, I think it's very pleasing to see the number of tenderers. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. No further questions, queries or comments. Is there a councillor prepared to move? I've got Councillor Wilson to move and Councillor Weaver to second. Councillor Wilson, opportunity to speak further to the motion. Councillor Weaver, if you'd like. Any other councillors wishing to speak for? Against? Show of hands in favour. That is carried. Thank you, councillors. Moving on to information reports, which we don't have any of today, and compliance reports, we have one. I'd like to ask, please, Director Gladman to please take us through 12.1, the Audit and Risk Committee update. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Straub. Councillors, for your receipt and noting today is a summary of the most recent meeting of the Loddon Shire Council Audit and Risk Committee, along with the committee's biannual report as required by the Loddon Shire Audit and Risk Committee Charter. Over the reporting period from May to October 2025, the committee considered a range of matters consistent with its charter, including key documents and policies, a variety of reports and internal and external audit activities. The committee also reviewed Council's annual budget, financial plan and financial and performance statements for the 2024-25 financial year. Councillors, the recommendation before you today is that Council receives and notes the summary of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting, 17 November 2025, and 2, Audit and Risk Committee biannual report, November 2025. Thank you, Mayor Straub.
Thank you, Director Gladman. And yes, as mentioned by Councillor Holt, we had the Chair of the Audit and Risk Committee present to us this morning, Marg Allen, which was a great opportunity to actually have an in-depth look at the report with the Chair. And we do thank both Councillor Holt and Councillor Wilson for the dedication as our delegates on the Audit and Risk Committee. Councillors, is there any questions, queries or comments regarding the report? If not, I'll ask Councillor prepared to move to the motion to the report. Thank you, Councillor Angelo. A councillor prepared to second. Thank you, Councillor Holt. Councillor Angelo, I'll give you the opportunity to speak to the motion if you'd like. Councillor Holt as a seconder. Any other councillor wishing to speak for? No one against. A show of hands in favour. And that is carried. Thank you, councillors. Councillors, no matters have been admitted as urgent business for consideration today, and likewise no confidential items today for consideration. So it now brings me to the end of today's open council meeting. Council has now addressed all items listed on today's agenda, and I am going to declare today's December council meeting closed at 3:24, and would like to wish everyone again a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and see you all again in 2026. Thank you.